Sorry, had some YouTube issues, but everything's okay now. Welcome, welcome. Can everybody hear me? Can everybody hear me? If you can hear me, if you can see me, could you say hello in the chat? Be like, hi, Darian. Just say hello in the chat real quick. Let me know if you can hear me. All right, we're good to go. Thank you so much for coming to another YouTube live session with me. Man, the light's pretty, the light's too bright, isn't it? Let's turn it down a little. Oh, it's not really helping. Well, maybe that's a little better. This is very strange. Okay. I don't know why the light is kind of crazy, but we'll have to deal with it. Okay. Maybe I'll just turn it off. Yeah, the light's not helping. Okay. So welcome to Wiz YouTube Live. Thank you so much for coming. I will go ahead and sing the theme song. I love Wiz, you love Wiz, we love Wiz channel. I love Wiz, you love Wiz, we love Wiz channel. All right, so we're good to go. So hi, my two audience members. Please say hello in the chat. Okay. Thanks for coming today. So how are you doing? How was your day? I'm here alone at Nagoya School on a rainy day. So I'm really happy to see you guys because I've been a little bit lonely. So yeah. Today I thought we'd talk about some experiences we've had going abroad and getting into the hobbies we like and things like that. So hopefully a few more people will join and we can have a good time. So yeah, whenever you're ready, say hello in the chat. Okay. So first question I always get as a foreigner is, why Japan? Why did you come to Japan? And sometimes I give a short answer, and sometimes I give a long answer. And so today I'll tell you the whole story. So I majored in international studies, which is like studying the world, studying politics. Hello, welcome. Thank you for coming. I majored in international studies. So I was interested in other cultures, in the world. My boyfriend also majored in international studies, and his focus was politics, so government, stuff like that. My focus was humanitarian aid. Humanitarian aid. What does that mean, humanitarian? Does anybody know? Let me put it in the chat. Humanitarian. Humanitarian. All right. So yeah, humanitarian means somebody who, basically, somebody who helps others. Someone who helps other humans. They go to other countries and maybe give money or medical help, stuff like that. So that's what I studied. So I also had contact with many English as a second language students. So many ESL students on my college campus. It was really diverse. Diverse means many different kinds of people from different countries. We had many Japanese students, many Chinese students, many Venezuelan students, and a lot of Saudi Arabian students. So we would go to parties together, and I would help my friends learn English by hanging out together. So that's when I first started teaching English, kind of. So I moved to Washington, D.C. Washington, D.C. That's on the East Coast of America. And in Washington, D.C., I was an intern. Does everybody know the word intern? Intern. So I was an intern for a humanitarian organization that helped countries with earthquake relief, or I was an intern during one of the waves of Ebola in Africa and other places. So I helped them organize medical supplies and send them to Africa and different African countries. Welcome, hi, thanks for joining us. So I'm talking about the reasons that I came to Japan. So many people ask me, why did you come to Japan? And so I'm answering that question. If you have a question too, please say hello in the chat. I would love to hear from you. Hi, oh, so many people joining. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for joining. Yeah, so say hello. Who's here? I want to know. Okay. Yeah, so I was in DC, and in America, interns usually don't get paid money. So I was working as an intern at a humanitarian organization. I was working at a restaurant, and I was living in some stranger's apartment because rent is really high in DC. And I was in love with my boyfriend, who spoke Japanese, and his dream was to go to Japan. So while I was in Washington, D.C., ECC came to the town. ECC came and was interviewing people. And me and my boyfriend decided, maybe we should try. Maybe we should try to interview at ECC. So we went to the interview and we passed. And so we decided that we'd go together. So the simple answer to why I came to Japan is love. I came to Japan for love. But the long answer is that I'm interested in traveling the world, and I have watched a lot of anime and read a lot of Japanese authors and was interested in the culture. So that's a big reason too. We went to Japan once before we came to live here. We decided to check, do we really want to live in Japan? Do we really want to live here? So we took a trip. It was 1 week. We started in Fukuoka at the port. Had some good shochu, some good seafood. So we started in Fukuoka. We rode the bullet train. We say bullet train instead of Shinkansen. Does everybody know that? Bullet train. B-U-L-L-E-T train. We call it the bullet train because it's as fast as a bullet out of a gun. So a bullet is a thing that comes out of a gun. So that's why we say bullet train, because it's so fast. We don't have a bullet train in America, so I was really excited to ride the bullet train the first time. Actually, Texas is getting a Shinkansen. Texas is getting a bullet train from Houston to Dallas. connecting millions of people. I'm so, so excited. Anyways, I got sidetracked. Does everyone know what sidetracked means? It means to go off topic in a conversation, to kind of go off the rails, sidetracked. I got sidetracked. That means to get distracted in a conversation. Sidetracked. Yeah. So anyways, we rode the train from Fukuoka to Tokyo. And the first steps into Tokyo, we were just overwhelmed. Overwhelmed means like too much information and emotion because my boyfriend had dreamed of coming to Japan since he was like 12 years old, and he discovered Japanese pop music on the internet. So we step out of the train into Tokyo, and there's just lights and sound, and my boyfriend is a little nerdy. Does everybody know the word nerdy? Nerdy is kind of like otaku, but it's not so negative. It's not so negative. These days, it's kind of a good thing. It means you're really, really interested in something. So kind of otaku, but in a good way. Nerdy. He's a little nerdy. So the first place we went was, of course, Akihabara. And we went to a big game center and we played rhythm games. So in America, when I was a kid, there was a Japanese game that was really, really famous. And it was called Dance Dance Revolution, DDR. Did anyone play Dance Dance Revolution at all? Anybody do DDR? Up, down, side, side. When I was a kid, I had like a little home DDR pad, and I would dance to this like Japanese game. It was really, really popular. So we did like the dance games and the rhythm games and the DJ games and the guitar games, a lot of music games. I noticed they had a lot of mahjong, like arcade mahjong. Arcade is what we call game center. So arcade. And they had arcade like horse racing. That was interesting. I didn't know if people could bet or not. Like bet money. Yeah, so we were super excited. We did all kinds of things in Tokyo. And then we went to Kyoto next. And we went to the bamboo forest. Funny story, a friend of mine came to Tokyo and we went to the bamboo forest, and I had this movie moment with her. It started raining, just raining really hard, and we started laughing because we forgot our umbrella, and we ran all the way through the bamboo forest, just laughing and running, and it's raining, and we're looking for shelter. Anyways, have you been to these places? I'm sure you have. Tell me your experience in the chat. Talk to me. I'm here for you. Free English teacher right now. So yeah, we went to Nara after that. I've been to Nara 3 times. Nara was amazing. I loved the giant Buddha. It was just so peaceful and beautiful. And then we went to drink sake. Funny story, in America, we think sake means Nihonshu. So when an American says sake, they think Japanese alcohol. But what we don't know is it's actually sake means alcohol, and Nihonshu means Japanese alcohol. But we think, sake is Japanese alcohol, but that's not true. All right. Yeah, so that's how I got into Japan. We had a great time our first week here, and then we decided to come live here working for ECC. Yeah, and then I came to Wiz later on. So I want you to tell me about why you went abroad. So, if you've been abroad, tell me about your experience. So, where did you go the first time? Why did you go abroad for the first time? Why were you interested? What was the first motivation in going abroad? So, join me in this conversation. Join me in the chat. I'll be waiting for your answers. You can do it. I know you can. Say hello. Be social. Be active. You can do it. All right. So while I'm waiting for your answers on the first place you went abroad, I'll tell you how I got into music. Because at the end of this YouTube live, I'm going to play you one song you definitely know. I'm going to play you one song you definitely know at the end of the YouTube live. So stick around. Stick around. That means stay here so you can see the song at the end of the YouTube live. Yeah, so when I was a kid, I went to church, like Christian church, a lot, like Wednesday and Sunday, and maybe more for special events. So yeah, when I was a kid, I went to church a lot. And so I started singing in the church choir. I started singing in the church choir. A choir is a group of people singing together. Choir is a group of people singing together. So I joined the choir when I was 5 years old. I was singing all the time. And then I moved to San Antonio, and they had a special arts high school. I was very lucky. So my high school was for music. I went to a musical theater high school. Musical theater. So musical theater is acting, dancing, singing. I wasn't very good at dancing. I was pretty bad at dancing, but it was super fun. I acted in a lot of plays and I sang in a lot of musicals. And when I was 16, I decided I wanted some rock and roll in my life. And I went to a punk rock show for the first time. I went to a punk rock show for the first time. Does everyone know what punk rock is? You know, kind of fast rock music, kind of crazy. And I loved the energy. Hi, welcome to the show. I'm talking about how I got into music. Before, I talked about how I came to Japan, and I asked my viewers to put your first time abroad in the chat. So still waiting for your chat. Yeah, so I played music in a punk rock band. I loved the energy. I loved the feeling of being on stage. It was like electrifying. And I had so much fun. I learned a lot. But then in college, I had many interests, so I took a break. And when I came to Japan, I had no band, no guitar player. And I went to an open mic. Does anyone know what an open mic is? An open mic is a night at a bar or a music club where everybody can come and play. Anyone. Sign your name on the list and you can play too. Maybe for like 10 minutes or 2 songs. You could even read poetry, whatever you want to do. That's an open mic. Open mic. Mic as in microphone. Yeah. So I went to the open mic at Nagoya's plastic factory. And Nagoya, even though it's small, it has a very welcoming, kind, lovely scene of people. Everybody was so gentle and open and encouraging. They were like, yeah, do it. Play music. You can do it. So I actually started singer-songwriter Darian in Nagoya. So I wasn't brave enough in America, but when I came to Nagoya, the group of musicians, oh, thank you for the ine, I really appreciate it. The group of musicians in Nagoya was so warm and so welcoming, so it made me feel confident. So is there something that was really hard for you to do? Something really difficult for you to do? But because of other people's kindness, you were able to do it? I hope speaking English is one of them. I hope you feel comfortable speaking English at Wiz English Academy. But Wiz English Academy doesn't only do English, it also does ukulele. Do we have any Beatles fans here? Any Beatles fans? If you are a Beatles fan, get to that chat. Say, hey, I'm a Beatles fan. A fan is like somebody who really likes something. So if you're a Beatles fan, comment to the side. So who's your favorite Beatle? Who's your favorite Beatle? Many people say Paul McCartney. Paul McCartney is very adorable. Adorable means very, very cute. He has the fun songs. John Lennon, he's kind of the more serious one. He's famous for the art and protests with Yoko Ono. George Harrison is known for being an awesome guitar player, and Here Comes the Sun, and sort of getting into the sitar. Sitar is like an Indian instrument. But maybe not so many people love Ringo Starr. Any Ringo Starr fans in the house? Any Ringo Starr fans watching? Say hello on the chat. Ringo isn't everyone's favorite, but I think he is underrated. Underrated means not enough people like him. Did you know that Ringo Starr has 17 solo albums? What? 17 solo albums? That's crazy. I had no idea either until I Googled Ringo Starr for some reason. Yeah, so his most famous song is what I'm gonna play for you on the ukulele. Are you ready? Give me some love in the chat. Say hello. Hey, Darian. All right, let's go. Gonna make sure I'm in tune here real quick. All right. Are you ready? All right, perfectly in tune. Here we go. I feel kind of nervous now. Give me an ine. All right, here we go. I'd like to be under the sea in an octopus's garden in shade. He let us in, knows where we've been in his octopus's garden in the shade. I'd ask my friends to come and see my octopus's garden with me. I'd like to be under the sea in an octopus's garden in the shade. We would be warm storm in our little hideaway beneath the waves, resting our heads on the seabed in an octopus's garden near a cave. We would sing and dance around because we know we can't be found. I'd like to be under the sea in an octopus's garden in the shade. We would shout and swim about the coral that lies beneath the waves. Oh, what a joy for every girl and boy, knowing that we're happy and they're safe. We would be so happy, you and me, no one there to tell us what to do. I'd like to be under the sea in an octopus's garden with you. In an octopus's garden with you. In an octopus's garden, in an octopus's garden, in an octopus's garden with you. I hope you liked it. Thank you so much for joining me today. I had a lot of fun talking with you and playing for you. Again, if there's any topics you'd like me to talk about next time, feel free to tell me. I'd love your feedback. All right. Thank you for the e-nay. Yay. Okay. Thank you guys so much. Have a wonderful day. Stay safe. Bye.